Well, first up on the bulletin, you're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, and I'm Meghna Dekha. But do you know what your child is doing online? Whom they are connecting with on social media? And are they being radicalized by a narco-terror network across the border? Beware, because Pakistan is building a sleeper cell of children. Well, that's right. Field Marshal Asim Munir and Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif are too cowardly to face our braves at the border. They have now been pulverized in their own turf during Operation Sindoor. So what do? They target the most vulnerable section, our children. They are tracking children on social media. They are connecting with these children online, connecting them with handlers sitting across the border, and then radicalizing them. They are poisoning their minds, their young minds, against our forces. They are poisoning their minds against India itself. Then they use these minors to spy at sensitive border areas. Well, today, we will expose the ISI handlers' toolkit to weaponize our children. It all started with a tip-off on a 15-year-old teenager who hails from Jammu, who was caught spying for Pakistan. When the agency scanned his phone, they realized how Pakistan is building an army of tech-savvy sleeper cells of children. Watch this exclusive Times Now report. This is a 15-year-old boy, a teenager with his entire life in front of him. But instead of education, he got indoctrination. Instead of lessons on patriotism, he was poisoned and weaponized. This is the story of a teenager turned into a Pakistani spy kid. This minor was a resident of Samba district in Jammu. He was tech-savvy and active on social media. This is where Pakistan snared him. One of his handlers was Sajjad Bhatti, a Pakistan-based ISI-linked drug peddler. Sources say that Bhatti was not just indoctrinating minors, he was also pushing them into drug abuse. ISI used social media to indoctrinate him and poisoned him against his own nation. Times Now traveled to this teenager's house in Samba of Jammu.
I am outside the house of a minor who has been arrested by the Pathankot police and the security agencies. You can see there is a lock in his house. He was living in this particular area, but as of now there is nobody inside the house. What we are learning from our sources is that he was sharing the sensitive information with the Pakistan's terror organizations, ISI and the Pak Army.
A year back, this teenager lost his father. While police didn't suspect any foul play, he believed that his father was murdered. This pushed him towards the path of radicalization.
He presumed that his father died, not died naturally, but he died by someone. It's some sort of murder, he was presuming. So he wanted to take revenge of his father's death. So that was the clicking point for agencies, Pak-based agencies, and they got him trapped.
After this, the ISI cloned his phone and used Tikko social media app to connect with him. He was then sent to the heavily fortified area of Pathankot in Punjab, where he took videos and pictures of army movements and security installations. These were then shared with his handler Sajjad Bhatti using the Tikko app.
His phone was also cloned by them, and they instructed him to do such things like taking pictures, videos of security establishments, army establishments, and they deliberately initiated a social media platform for him.
After a tip-off, the Punjab police and security agencies managed to nab him. When they scanned the minor's phone, they found a dark web of contact numbers of anti-national elements and ISI terror handlers. But this may be just the tip of the iceberg. Agencies believe that this is Pakistan ISI's toolkit to indoctrinate and exploit young minds for their terror agenda. They are now scanning for a larger nexus of children who may also have fallen into the trap of Pakistan.
We have extracted their activities, social media activities.
Are they also under the scanner?
Yes, they are under scanner, but they may be trapped. They may be trapped by such agencies. And we presume that they are also of a tender age.
Beware, Terroristan will not even spare our children, turning them into sleeper cells.
Jammu Kashmir police along with the Pathankot police and the security agencies are investigating to this matter. Pakistan is continuously trying to indulge the youth of Jammu Kashmir and the youth of the border area in the Punjab to indulge into the terror activities. They are contacting them by the social media. With video journalist Amit Bhardwaj, this is Ankit Bhatt for Times Now.
Well, with that, more breaking news which is coming in. We'll tell you the details of how our children are being weaponized by Pakistan. Top police sources have revealed to Times Now that as many as 36 children may be under the influence of Pakistani handlers and now being probed by the police scanner. Let me go across to Ankit Bhatt, who's getting us all the details. He's tracking it live from the ground in Samba, where this 15-year-old boy was there. Ankit, tell us, how wide is it? Who are these 36 children who are currently under the agency's scanner?
What we are learning is that a minor or a 15-year boy who has been arrested by the Punjab police, now they are what was in their phone. This was a clone which was made, and the videos, the sensitive information which he has been sending to the Pakistan. What we are learning from our sources is that Punjab police has shared the information to the Haryana police as well as to the Jammu and Kashmir police. What we are learning is that there is a 12 number in Punjab as well as in the Haryana, and in Jammu and Kashmir the number is 30, which are under the scanner of the security agencies and the police in Punjab, Haryana as well as in the Jammu and Kashmir. This is the major breakthrough for the Punjab police in the Pathankot,
right,
where a minor was arrested, as the case is very sensitive. This is the initial information what we are getting to know from our sources.
Well, Ankit, thank you so much for tracking all of this from Samba to Pathankot. Now we have the details of what really it is that the agencies are looking into. But now let's tell you about the modus operandi. The modus operandi of Pakistan's sleeper cell of our children. The first step, what they do is that they identify tech-savvy teenagers. Mostly they are teenagers. The second step is that Pakistan then contacts these children on social media handles. Then these children are slowly connected with Pakistani ISI handlers and are being radicalized. They are being brainwashed. And who's doing it? It's part of a larger narco-terror web, which is being led by drug peddlers in this case. Pakistan ISI, as per our sources, is then cloning the phones of these children whom they've turned into spies. Then these children are sent in to spy on our forces, on Indian forces. They're being asked to and forced to send videos and photographs to their handlers across the border with these phones which have already been cloned. That's the modus operandi. That's the toolkit. So viewers, the minor who has been apprehended by the Punjab police in Pathankot. In fact, one of the most strategically located places in the country. Let's tell you why Pathankot is being targeted again and again by our hostile neighbor, why they have sent in children to spy on it. Because first, Pathankot is a critical air base. It is an air station which is key to Western air defenses. It is the gateway to Jammu and Kashmir as well, because after all, it becomes a transit point for the military movement as well into Jammu and Kashmir. It has understandably major army presence. After all, the Mamun cantonment area is one of the largest which is there in northern India. Also, it is a counter-terror hub as well for coordination. It is key to rapid response to cross-border threats, be it terror or be it bat forces. Also, it is regional security anchor as well, because it ensures India's strategic dominance in the northwestern frontiers of India bordering Pakistan. Now, viewers, this is not the first time that security forces have apprehended individuals and even minors on the charges of spying on their own nation. In fact, there is a long list of names, and you'll be surprised. It's not the usual suspects. They have been using influencers, travel vloggers as spies to spy upon Indian forces. For example, remember Jasbir Singh? He was a travel vlogger. He leaked army movement to the ISI. Then there was another one who was arrested. This was Jyoti Malhotra. She was also a travel blogger. She too was arrested in May earlier this year. Third one, who is under the scanner and who was later arrested, was Devendra Dhillo. He was a master's student, He was sharing photographs of the Patiala camp with the ISI. He too has been arrested. There's also Ravindra Verma, a naval defense engineer who leaked secrets of warships, Indian warships and submarines to ISI, who has been arrested. There's also Sunil Kumar, an Air Force contractor who leaked photographs of the Bhatinda Air Base to the ISI. He too has been arrested in April earlier this year. In fact, viewers, the new modus operandi being employed by Pakistan is not just clearly limited to vloggers, influencers, now even children. Countries, however, in the past, we have seen have used children to spy for them. This is a global pattern that we are going to reveal to you, where children have been radicalized and used as spies. First example, you'd all remember, Nazi Germany under Hitler. They formed the Hitler Youth, indoctrinated the children, used these very children to spy upon their own parents and inform the SS if required. Then there was Soviet Union, where young pioneers were groomed to become spies, spy on their own teachers, on their own parents and even neighbors. Under Mao's China as well, you had the Red Guards who were actively mobilizing students to spy on each other as well as their family members. East Germany, remember STASI, was the intel agency which was recruiting school children as informers. This was done actively as well. In North Korea, even now there are reports, in human rights reports, which say that North Korea is using children and they are encouraging them to report dissent. Dissent by whom? Their own family members, their own fellow children, students, teachers, so on. Even as we speak, as per reports, ISIS is also using children, radicalizing them in camps, in madrasas, using them for lookouts, using them as messengers, using them as spies. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are some big questions that we are forced to unfortunately ask tonight, because it's time that we raise this alarm. First question, is Pakistan building sleeper cells of Indian children? Second question, are there more children who have been radicalized on social media? Is this essentially just the tip of the iceberg? Third question, is Terroristan now singling out the most vulnerable amongst us all, our children who have impressionable minds, because they are too scared, too cowardly to fight our braves at the border? Also, is Pakistan pushing children into a dark narco-terror web? Because remember, one of the handlers is also a drug peddler. Finally, social media. Is that the new terror indoctrination tool being employed by Pakistan? Let me go across to our panelists. Joining us today on the show, SP Vaid, former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir. There is also Nikhil Chandwani, an author, joining us here on the show. SP Vaid ji, I'm going to come to you first. You understand the area, you understand the region, but more importantly, you understand the way that the ISI is functioning. One would imagine that there would be certain red lines, certain Lakshman Rekha. When it comes to the failed Marshal Munir and to Shehbaz Sharif, they are not even sparing the kids. Have you seen anything like this in the past, especially using tech-savvy children to spy upon their own nation?
Namaskar, Meghna ji. Good evening to you and to your viewers. Answering to your question, see, ISI has no morals. They are rogue agency, and with Asim Munir, the failed marshal, they can go to any extent. And I have been, as you asked me, have you seen this first earlier also? So yes, when I was DGP, I remember from downtown Kashmir, Srinagar city, parents of a child came to me in the public hearing and then told me the story that our child, who was basically very tech savvy and was on the mobile, so he gets a friendship request from somebody unknown. So he accepts that friendship request, and then slowly he that handler across was actually radicalizing him. The parents suspected, and before he could be turned into a terrorist, they approached, and we could save that child. So this has happened earlier also. But let me, to your viewers, let me tell about my experience. Even at that time, when I probed into, came to know that Pakistan is coming out with the ISI there, is telling to its youth, there is no need to go to Kashmir to fight jihad. You can be a cyber mujahid. So they have recruited a battery of hundreds and thousands of such cyber tech people who are known as cyber mujahids. So they say you don't need to go to Kashmir to fight jihad or Ghazwa Hind, do Ghazwa Hind in India. So you can, while sitting in India, in Pakistan, these cyber mujahideens can do this job, and this is what they keep doing. So they said you only need to know a laptop, you should be tech savvy, you should you will be paid while at home some certain amount. So they are bombarding our children, scanning who is vulnerable, like this child who had lost his father, and then radicalization starts. This is they are also used for narcotics, they are used for surveillance, they are used for espionage. So all this,
that's very dangerous.
You were mentioning
the cyber mujahideen. As Dr. Vaid is pointing out, Pathankot Pine is also joining us now, a geopolitical analyst. Pathankot, what do you make of this? Because there seem to be other precedents as well, not just in India, across the globe. Because children, well, who will suspect a child?
Meghna, radicalization of the young or the youth is not a new thing. Previously, Vaid sir would know 100 times better than me that previously they were stone pelters, now they have become something else. But they have always used the young and the vulnerable, impressionable minds to fight against their own country. See, you are dealing with a brazen, lawless, an unprincipled country or an entity called Pakistan, which would always force you to change your rules of engagement. So radicalization is one way. In fact, that is a template that ISIS used once they were losing their battle in the Middle East. They told all their cadre to go back to their respective countries and do terror attacks there, where ISIS will take the credit under the brand name of ISIS, and they were all radicalized online. So online radicalization, it is a very big challenge. And the only way, you can deal with online radicalization is to instill sense of nationalism among the youth, and that has to start from the school level onwards. Otherwise, this generation, which is very tech savvy, which has been unfortunately being giving education in the name of liberalism, that the whole world is your kind of world, the whole world is a very nice place, nationalism is only the last resort of the scoundrel. Unfortunately, that's the kind of narration that has happened for a long time, where it is said that patriotism is the last resort of the scoundrel. So they have an anathema towards something where they're told that, oh no, if you try to be patriotic, that means you are being conservative. Let's be liberal. That is what they are capitalizing on by, and this generation is tech savvy. They will always have access to different kind of things. How do you ensure that he knows what is right and wrong? That can only happen when the school, beyond teaching them
at a young age, you ensure that they are growing up with patriotic fervor, because you cannot possibly stop tech-savvy teenagers from going on social media, getting this kind of an influence, but at least the sense of patriotism is perhaps one thing which can wean them away from these dark forces. Thank you so much, Dr. Baird, as well as Pathankot, for joining us here on the show. With that, a short break. Don't go anywhere.